So, you know, and if I loved it when I was little, these ones here love it too, and they do. If you think I'm lying, I'll go and get my little brother out here and to tell you.
We got the spokes chromed up, the seat on the tires, rolling the avenues with my handlebars on the rise. I got my Horius gears all on my X outside. Looking back at me through the chrome mirrors on the side. And we gon' ride to the chop shop where we multiply. The C block all the way non-stop we ride. But when we get together, we roll in a pack. Nothing holding us back. Central lot of Tucky on my back. Rolling them out, letting them know where it's at. LA, C block and Central out to pack.
Down my wall, we be riding low and high, rolling fat bodies and that. We roll a school from LA into. That's how we roll. We high roller, chop the bike, fat laced up, quartet nights,
just like a PIMP.
And my Horius ways and nights. That's the time for us to roll. Out rolling MCs on my high roller, triple G. You know, I switch shine my roll before I leave home so I can roll. Down to Mo on my low, ride down with my crew. I'm fat individual, cooler than ice cold, letting all them haters know. Whānau ko tahi tātou.
Original.
If you're a freshman, I'm a senior. I lyrically, brutally smash D. With my high it's not fair in this atmosphere. Give me the microphone so I can tear fresh and clean through the avenues with low and hard. Yeah.
Rolling to Mobile Beach, we riding
Rough, rugged roll.
Trikes and bikes, we ignite the mics. We got you inside to let you know we keep it opposite to loose so tight.
Letting all you haters know we're original.
We went from bare feet to tire house, khakis to Chuck Taylors. The Māori heritage will never fail us. Bare feet to shoes, microphones and part twos.
O ngā tikanga whaihua, a tō tātou Māori tanga. Ngā mea no konei no tēnei whenua kura. Ka tū whakahihia Horius MC I runga ki tēnei āhuatanga.
I think you can see it in our name, Horius MCs. That's nothing but Māori. So we've definitely got a pride in our music and in being Māori. I think if you analysed our raps and what we're saying in our verses, you'll see that a lot of it is aimed towards Māori people and, you know, bringing out the positives and throwing out the negatives as well, because people don't want the happy joy all the time. You know, they've got to hear the real issues as well. So we try and dish out the negatives and the positives, I don't know, an equal amount, I suppose.
The thing I like mostly about their flavour or their flow is sort of how they're bringing in the reo back into the community and stuff. I mean, we all sort of brought up not really knowing our Māoritanga and stuff, but you know, having it in a mainstream way, in like a cool sort of way, our language is just going to thrive if everyone keeps, you know, tautokering the cause, and it's great to hear the reo coming through.
Yeah, my daughter here, she's 3, Tanika, and she speaks more reo than I do, and it's a challenge because if she can speak it, then I should be able to do it too. But I mean, just because I can't speak it doesn't mean that, you know, I turn my back to my culture. No way. You know, I'm Māori 100%.
Yeah, that cheap music production has meant that a lot more Māori people are getting involved in an industry where traditionally it wasn't classified as a real job or a viable job option. So you've got a lot more tikanga Māori coming through, a lot more breaking, that kind of thing. It's becoming part of Aotearoa culture as well, that whole hip-hop influence, so it's pretty fast.
I was brought up in the Māori, you know, I was brought up around it all the time, always going back home to our marae and Hastings, always going to the tangis, meeting our kaumatuas, our uncles and aunties, just being in that environment on the marae was an experience itself. Always brought up in the kapaka as well. Just as I grew up, as I grew up, it just faded. I faded away from it. But seeing my babies going to kohanga, and my babies singing, they're coming home and doing their waiata, singing their waiatas that they learned from kohanga, it's given me that extra boost now, you know, to learn more about the culture. You know, I'm interested in wanting to learn, and I sit down at my baby's kohanga for a bit and learn a little bit.
You can really appreciate the way that groups like Horius MCs are using te reo in their music a lot more, and then that's showing our youth and our children that, you know, it's more acceptable, it's becoming more mainstream, you know, and along with that also I think the public in general's knowledge and understanding of te reo and the Māori language is going to expand as well, because they're hearing it more, you know, like it's more out there in the airwaves and in the messages and things that they're giving, that, you know, we are a people, we have culture and we can be proud of it. So I think it's really great the way that they incorporate that into their music, you know, and not just the token bit, you know, they incorporate it through everything that they do, in the music, in the music videos, in their clothing, you know, how they carry themselves, everything.
Whakaturehia te reo ki roto I ngā kura.
I think te reo should be compulsory at school for any. Oh, that's a hard question because I don't know. I only see it from a Māori's perspective. But from a Māori's perspective, yeah, it should definitely be compulsory for any person that wants to, or that has any Māori blood in them, or, you know, feels Māori, then sure. But I see the benefits because right now he only started. He's 2 years. He's 2 years old now, and he started when he was about 1.5. His motor skills have improved enormously in the 4 or 5 months he's been there. So you can't really say that koanga doesn't have any beneficial effects. Because look at him now, he won't shut up. Shush.
Compulsory. I believe it's an obligation of Māori to learn their language, to learn their reo. But to make it compulsory, I'll probably go against, maybe. I don't know. I mean, you should have a choice. I don't know, bro. I don't know. Seriously, don't know.
Yeah, I think Māori should be, you know, the reo should be compulsory at school. And it should be 50-50. I mean, it was like that. It was supposed to be like that, you know. I mean, before the Europeans come over, it was just Māori, you know. And now the English has taken, the English language has taken over. It's wiped out the Māori, the reo. My mum and dad you know, my mum and dad, my grandparents even said that, gee boy, you know, we never had, you know, if we spoke with the Māori in school, we got the whoop. Whoa, you know, but now it's, you know, we got all young ones learning the reo, and we should be pushing it a lot more.
As a teacher, I can see so many benefits to Māori being compulsory in schools, not only for our Māori students, but for all ethnicities, you know. It just gives that added value, it gives students more strength and identity as being a New Zealander.
Yeah, I reckon it's an obligation for Māori to learn their reo, and they should be made to want to learn it, because I mean we are Māori and yet heaps of us can't speak Māori.
I mean, it's not just Māori students that are involved in our kapahaka and our culture groups and sports, you know.
I think it's a real good start having these groups promoting our language within their music, and hopefully in the long term it will become more and more recognised, our te reo, because I believe New Zealand's first language is te reo Māori. Therefore, we should at least think about introducing it into our schools as being a permanent language that we should all learn.
Yeah, there was a hikoi and we were to march to, you know, our people were to march to the parliament and the protests, you know. My reo should be compulsory. Yeah, man, that'll be me. You know, I'm a soldier. You know, I'm a soldier. I was born a Māori battalion. You know, but I'll support our people. I'll support our people and march on with them in the hikoi. I mean, we went through the hikoi down the mountain, you know. Me and the boys, as soon as we were, yeah, that's us, let's get out to the mountain for the hikoi. Yeah, we're in it. So, and I'd love to do it again, to protest, to push it forward. It should be pushed forward hard.